Hi there, this is Doug, and this video is just a short one on the very final step when all the other revisions and the uploads of files and all the cleaning and stuff is done and you're actually getting to the actual import process. I'm just going to explain this briefly because there's a lot of variations and it's really fairly simple. All the hard stuff is the stuff you do before this step. This step is the easy step. So of course you log into your BigCommerce site and you go to products and you go to import. Now if you've followed the process as specified, then what you're going to do is you're going to upload CSV file, and we'll go ahead and choose the file here. We're not going to run the process completely, but might as well make it look legit. So we pull the CSV file that's export. That is what was the BC final worksheet in the final revision 5 spreadsheet, and export it as CSV. So we open that. All right. You're going to select the file was exported using the bulk edit template because it's using all the heading names that the bulk edit template uses, which is the identifiers. When you do this, you cannot uncheck overwrite existing products, which not a big deal. There might be some botched attempts that you've done, and if you've botched something, if you're going to rerun the modification of the file that you ran the first time, just a slight modification, you will want to delete the existing images, or else it'll import them a second time, and then you'll have image 2, 3, 4, 5 of the same image, and makes everything look ugly. So. But you only have to select delete existing images if you are rerunning a botched import process. And if you're doing an update, now this is a slightly different thing, and I recommend when you're doing updates you do not use all of the columns that are in the bulk export. You want to just use the product ID field of the existing record. You also need the column, the product name, the product SKU, and the category. Those are the only columns that you need, aside from the 1 or 2 columns of information of what you're actually going to change, like the description maybe, or the pricing. Only have those identifier columns, as I said, ID, product name, product code SKU, and category. Just have those identifiers and the couple of columns or single column of the information that you're wanting to update. Do not put any other columns in. That way it ensures that when the update process is done, not an import process, that only that one column of data that you've specified will be changed. Everything else will be left intact. If you do that, then you don't have to worry about duplicating the images or accidentally corrupting data in columns that had otherwise been fine. So keep that in mind. Difference between import and update. All right. You of course want to tell it file contains headers. It's pretty good at identifying these things, so when you do the next thing, if you've named things according to its standard conventions, it will find them right up. If the columns are not there, it will show ignore. And that's fine. It's not going to overwrite that information with nothing. It's just going to ignore that. Now you do have other options for mapping them or having it maybe delete them, but take the defaults and do the ignore. For some idiot reason, whether it's an import or whether it's a update, that product category field has to be in there. It won't let you go any further unless you have a category field specified. It doesn't want to modify or put in any new products unless they're categorized. At the very next step, you'll hit next, and then it will start the import process. It will give you an import in progress bar, and it will update this. If you've got thousands or tens of thousands of products, this could take a while. Typically it takes close to an hour for 46,000 products. So do the math and you'll get some idea of where it is. Pay close attention to the product was not able to be fully imported so far option. That will click off an update anytime it's got a record, a product that it goes to import, and one of the pieces of information or the whole thing was badly formatted and it didn't know what to do. So it discarded it. Typically what it does is it'll create the record and it'll populate it with as much of the information it can make sense of, but it will leave gaps. Pay close attention to this. When the import in progress is done, it will pop up a status window and it'll say basically that the process was complete. It will show the number of errors and it will allow you to, it'll have a hyperlink built in there to view the details. This is the one and only chance you will have to look at the error report to see what went wrong. If you go past this or close that window, you cannot get that error report again. Do not click past that spot until you have viewed that error report if there are errors and you've copied that to a text file on your local computer to deal with. It's a big gotcha. I don't know why they do it that way, but once it's done and gone, it's gone forever. Really, really is shitty. I've looked for the report on the back end in WebDev. I've never found them. They just seem to go away. Anyway, keep that in mind. If you have errors, be sure to click on that view details and copy all the contents to a local text file before you close and go any further. After you've completed the import, then you'll want to view the records in the site and do some spot checks to make sure the brand was created correctly or updated correctly, that the categories look right and the product records look like they're formatted clearly, and do a test on at least 4 or 5 of them to make sure that the links to the install guides and PDFs has worked correctly and do actually bring up the actual PDF files. And we're not actually going to complete this process. We're going to go ahead and cancel it, but as you can see, it's a fairly straightforward process. As a general rule, if the column isn't there, it's not going to map it and it's not going to put information in it. And that is how you reduce errors. Only put in there what should be in there. And with that, that'll complete this video on the final step of the importing or updating process. Thank you for your attention.